Hello Play the Games, it's Boobity2 here and welcome back to Play the Game Central, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different with my face over here, and as you can see I'm not using my hands. This is gameplay which I'm watching in theatre mode. I'm just going to be talking about what I'm doing and the map itself. I'm going to be talking about lots of different things for you. Now the annoying thing is the monitor's there and the camera's there, so it's going to be a bit difficult to go, but we're going to do our best. So, how I like to play Buried, and it actually took quite a few days. It probably took, since the map's been out, I now have a system of things that I like doing, and it's been about a week or two, so it's probably going to take some people quite a while to get the hang of this map, because there are some things, well, most of the stuff that you have to do, like break open the debris and get the chalk on the wall, are things that you really ideally should be doing before round 5, before things get a little bit too hectic. But the way that I like to play Buried now is to immediately go down the hell slide and buy Quick Revive in solo mode, put the chalk on the wall for the Remington because I just want 1,000 points. I'm never going to buy that thing, I'm never going to use that wall buy spot at all. And then I go immediately into the bank and then I withdraw about 10,000, 12,000 points, and they are replaced very easily if you have a good game, which, you know, I have my bank maxed out by now, and it's very easy to do that with the method that I use now. And typically I just like to go into the weaponsmith, get the SVU chalk, and then go and put it on the wall somewhere, preferably by the jail and the sheriff's office, somewhere around there, and then break the big guy out, and then do some damage with that stuff, and then get all the perks, and then pretty much I'm completely set up before round 5, and it's very easy to do that. So the best thing that I like to do is to get the SVU on the wall immediately, and then try and get that persistent perk with the SVU in that, or it doesn't have to be an SVU, it could be any sniper rifle, but the SVU is obviously the best one. I mean, the Barrett is great, but it's only got like 5 rounds in the magazine, and it is not exactly ideal, and the DSR, while nice and it's pretty cool, it's just not as good because it's bolt action, so it takes a while and you don't get ammo for it. The SVU is quite a lot of ammo, so that's one thing to think about. But as you can see in this gameplay, I already have the sniping persistent perk where all you need to do is just kill zombies with a sniper rifle at a long distance, and then you get this perma perk, which, not perma perk, persistent perk. We're calling them persistent perks. I know perma perk rolls off the tongue much better, but it's incorrect, and we're not doing it anymore. But the sniping, perfect thing, you just got a persistent perk thing. Jesus, get it right. You just snipe zombies from a distance and you get this thing, and then with every single kill that you get while you still have this, you get 11 plus 30s per kill, so that's in total 33 times 10, which would be 330. That's a minimum of 380 points per zombie if you got like a leg shot and get the 50 off them. And that doesn't include the bullets, which are just hit markers on them, and then it's just not actually killing blows. And you also have to count headshots when you get double point headshots, and you get a mass amount of points, and it is absolutely incredible. And that's what I always do. I get the SVU and then I just tear stuff up. I mean, most people, and even me at the beginning of playing Buried, I always got the PDW and always got the A94 and always put them in the jail sheriff's office kind of wall spots. And obviously those are the usual ways for people to gain points, but now with this SVU sniping persistent perk, it has made point gathering extremely easy, and you can max out your bank in like 3 games. It's really not that difficult at all. But I like to break the big guy out after I get the SVU and all that setup done, and then make him break some stuff down, get the power on, buy Juggernog, Scavenger, and Speed Cola. Never Mule Kick. Mule Kick makes me die more than anything, because you have 3 weapons, and I can't get used to that because I do the YY weapon switch all the time, so I can't really do that very well. But, you know, with all these different perks as well, and the SVU, and you can get a gun out the fridge if you want to, or you can put the PDW or AN94 on the wall if you just want to have some kind of close range safety. But typically it is fairly easy, this map, once you have everything set up. And To give just like a general review of the map, and specifically in the early rounds when you are just setting up, and I'm talking mostly before round 5, it's a very, very tedious process. I mean, you have to go out, you got to go out and you got to get the chart, and then you got to put it on the wall, and you get 1,000 points, and you get the 2,000 points when you finish that. And then you got to break all the stuff down with the big guy, and somehow I'm turning Irish from Scottish from something, I don't fucking know. But you do all that stuff, and it's like you've already invested like 10 or 20 minutes into the game, and you haven't done anything at all. And that's the one thing that I really don't like about this map, is just, if you do know what you're doing and you have set up stuff properly, then you just take so long to get set up, and then it just gets really boring, because obviously you've got these upgraded weapons and the really good weapons and really good perks, and it's at such a low round that you don't need them, but they're just nice to have anyway, so you're always going to go and get them. So that's berries in a nutshell. Tedious, very, very tedious indeed. But as soon as you get through and progress through all the rounds and get to like round 15, 20, that kind of area, and then you go through the maze and get the free perk off of the ghosty bitches and all that kind of stuff, then you are very much set up. But at that point, the map is done, and I don't like that. I mean, with Mob of the Dead, there was always something to do, and I mean, even in like solo mode, you could go and get the tomahawks, and then you had to use them on the skulls, and you get the blundergat, you get golden spork, and you had the riot shield, electric cherry, all these buildables that you had, and you had the bridge, and you had so much stuff to do. And even in the Easter egg itself, you could do the Easter egg on solo mode up to a certain point, because obviously you can't be you and 4 different people killing Weasel, which isn't you, or if it is you, you're not going to kill yourself, and it makes no sense at all. But with Mob of the Dead, you had progression, and that's one thing that I like in Zombies now, especially since the single player team is now taking a more dominant role, because they have made maps before. I think they made Doris, and they made Shangri-La, and they made Kino as well, or something like that. They have a different team of people working on some of the different maps through World War and Black Ops 1. But now they are making a more of a statement that it is them making the maps. Obviously not the ones with these trans-shit characters in it, with Misty, Bolton, etc. Although Stuhlinger is obviously one of the better characters, I think, and hopefully we will see him in the future, hopefully in the next game, because Richtofen has possessed his body. So that would be nice to see that come back in some form, but he can easily just change hosts, I guess, but I mean, you can only stand the smell of Stuhlinger for so long. I mean, come on. That's one thing. Stuhlinger, or Stuhlinger. It's Stullinger, because it's got the H in it, so that's how you pronounce it, but even Richtofen's pronounced it Stuhlinger, and it's... They probably should have researched how to pronounce that name first before they actually went into this, so that's just one thing to do. But the single player team, they will be making the last DLC, which I'm very much looking forward to, because, you know, with Mob of the Dead, they had so many new things, and they had... I mean, if you play the campaign, for example, in World War, Black Ops 2, then you will, while the campaigns themselves aren't the main attraction of the Call of Duty series, they are very well put together, and the story progression works very well, and the characters are interesting, they're very strong characters, you've got good scenes, and you have all kinds of different things. And you look at like the campaign, and you look at Mob of the Dead, and you see so many similarities. And with Mob of the Dead as well, they had so many new features, being Afterlife mode, Electric Cherry, building the plane, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Riot Shield, even though it wasn't particularly like a new thing, but Golden Spork, Blundergat, Acid Gat, the Gondola, there's so many new different things, and that's something that I think that we need now, because if you look between the transition of Transit to Die Rise to Buried, Transit had the bus and fog and denizens. Pretty much, let's not go into trans shit at all. Let's just look at the bus. The bus is probably the best thing, and it's even glitchy, and it's not that great, to be honest. But that is the best addition in transit, in my personal opinion. I mean, no one's going to say the thruster dyne, the Avogadro, fuck them things. But you look at those things, and you have the bus. And then you move into Die Rise, which is completely different. It's just gotten rid of all those new things which they had, like, even though they were bad things, Avogadro, Thrusterdyne, the bus, the just there's probably not really that many other things, but you know, you look at the transition between Transit and Die Rise, and Die Rise is very simple, very boring, very plain, and it doesn't particularly bring anything new to the table except camping by the navcard table, and that's pretty much it. And the Easter egg itself in Die Rise was by far much better than Transit's Easter egg. Nothing is worse than Transit's Easter egg. There is absolutely nothing worse than Transit's Easter egg. There is nothing comparable to that, especially Max's side, when you have to get the Avogadro to spawn onto the pylon, and it's just mostly just a trial and error thing, which is really annoying. But with Die Rise, you had more linear steps, simpler steps, easier steps. You'd have to run around for half an hour just trying to get a pylon lit up, and that's just the improvement, I guess. There was a simplification in Die Rise, but it was probably a bit too much because there's not really too much in there. I mean, by about round 15, I'm bored, I'm done, I don't want to do anything anymore, because I've got all the perks, had the Liquefier, don't even want the Liquefier, and I have upgraded weapons, and that's it, that's all done. Then you look at the transition between Die Rise and Buried, and they do have new features. I mean, the maze with the ever-changing doors going up and down like I am in now, and the wonder weapon as well, that's very nice. Paralyzer flying around, it's pretty cool. The ghosts, the ghost house with the free perks, the extra bit of the Easter egg with the alignment, though annoying, having to do the Transit and Die Rise Easter eggs about 3 times in one day. They were a very nice addition. And also, you know, the teleporter and the fountain, and lots of different locations as well. I mean, in Die Rise, all you had as a main tactic was stand by the navcard table, that's it. That's all you had to do. But with this, you have lots of different strategies, which we are bringing on the channel recently, actually, with survival tips, training guides, all that kind of stuff. And you just look at the other things as well, like the chalk outlines and the big guy. Though tedious, you don't have to do them by like a certain point. I mean, you can do them at any point you want to, but you know, it's best to get them done as soon as possible, get them out of the way, then get set up. But it is a massive improvement, I think, and I know that recently for Buried, they did bring in David Vonderhaar, who is the multiplayer director. I don't even know what he does. He goes around, looks at people's screens, and goes, change that, look at that, that's a little bit, turn left a bit, there, done. And that's his day's work over with, and he's bald and has very nice glasses. I think he looks very, very nice. But he's been brought into it, and I know that the big guy was, he had a big hand in that, and probably some of the new features as well. And the persistent perks as well, half of them are pretty shit, must be said. I mean, the ray gun out of the Olympia, I mean, I understand that, but I mean, it's kind of like a last-ditch effort to get new players wanting to play. I mean, if you want to play zombies, it should be for horde defense, not just immediately get a ray gun out the fucking wall, which is kind of gay. I don't like that. Particularly not gay, it's not homosexual, but it could be. I mean, I don't know where Rick Toffin's put that ray gun. But, you know, the general consensus for me on Buried is just, it's the second best map so far in Black Ops 2, very easily. I mean, it's not that hard to do that. Die Rise is fairly boring. We call it Psy Rise just because it's, and that's just there. And Trans shit, because everything is awful except the bus, even that's quite glitchy.